Well, I'm out on the Giant Revolt today, and the weather is marvellous. It's cool. At least it's dry. It's been absolutely crazy. It's Easter Saturday as I'm filming this, and boy, has it been a bit of a turmoil. That's close. It was like this when I got up on Thursday morning, and then by the time I left the house, it was literally torrential rain and gale force winds and absolute chaos out there. And some people were reporting snow and absolute madness. And the traffic was just madness. I went from Chepstow to Cribbs Causeway on Thursday afternoon. Normally takes about 15 minutes each way. Took me an hour and 40 minutes to get there and an hour and 20 to get back. So the traffic was at a standstill everywhere. It was just chaos. And it got me wondering, why do people do it? Because Good Friday was the same. Right up until about 6 o'clock in the evening. And I think to myself, if you're going away for the weekend and you haven't got there by 6 o'clock on Friday evening, it's probably not worth going, because you've got to dedicate your entire day on Monday to sitting in traffic on the way back. But I was discussing it with my wife, and she made a point which hadn't really occurred to me. She said, we live in quite a nice part of the country. I said, yeah, it's true, because I got my car from a dealership in Wolverhampton, and we drove up there to get it, and we turned off the M5, and it took us nearly an hour to get from the M5 to the car dealership. It was just so densely populated, and everything was on top of everything else, and the traffic was chaos. And we both said we're glad we don't live like that. No desire for city life anymore. I think that's the difference, you know. We look out and we go, you know what? I'm not going to get involved in all of that traffic and try and go away for the Easter weekend. I'll stay at home, go and ride my bike. And here I am, in quite a pleasant part of the country, riding my bike. Whereas if you lived in a tower block in Wolverhampton, or anywhere else that's densely populated, I'm not having a go at Wolverhampton. Not at all. If you live in a densely populated area where you've got no space around you, and you're in the hustle and bustle all day long, then I guess you do feel the need to go away at every opportunity. All these cars were on the road, and the motorways were gridlocked, and most of the major roads was just chaos out. But then my wife had to go out and pick up a parcel, and she said every retail park they were queuing for parking spaces, and of course queuing for McDonald's. And you just think, wow, that's mad. If the roads are absolutely gridlocked, you'd think everybody would be on the road. But no, the car parks are full as well. Oh, bucker. It's just roads flooded everywhere. Roads on the top of hills are flooded. It's the weirdest thing. But we've had so much rain and it's been so consistent. Nothing gets a chance to dry out. I've said it before. When people talk about global warming, I keep saying, well, where's mine? And when I say that tongue in cheek. I am concerned for the environment. But as I've also said before, gravel riding in Britain has just become mud riding. But going back to this crazy situation with the traffic, it just really emphasises the fact that there's too many cars on the road. A lot of it comes down to the incredibly bad government we have. Now, our government's solution to the problem of too many cars on the road is to scrap public transport projects. Can you believe it? They've scrapped HS2, high-speed rail, and now they're saying they want to end the war on motorists, i.e. put more traffic on the road. That'll solve it. I mean, I shouldn't really get involved in politics, I know. But when you have the worst government of all time, you have to call it out. And we do quite literally have the worst government of all time. And if you're one of the supporters, sorry, but you have to wake up. You have to start accepting reality. And when they say they're going to end the war on the motorist, that doesn't mean they're going to build new roads or even improve the existing ones. They're just going to clog them up with more cars. The approach to the Dartford tunnels is at a standstill every single day, and they don't see it as a problem. And the conspiracy theorists, of which I am one, believe it's deliberate, because 75% of every litre of fuel burned, or should I say 75% of the cost, goes straight in the government's pocket. So the more fuel you waste, the more money they make. But they decided when Bozo resigned and ran away, there was a by-election, and they held on to the seat by literally a handful of votes, by claiming they were going to end the low emission zone. The irony being, the London low emission zone was introduced by none other than Bozo himself. They want to stop what they call the draconian introduction of the 20-mile-an-hour speed limit that's happened in Wales. This 20-mile-an-hour speed limit in Wales was proposed by the Conservatives and voted for by the Welsh Parliament. The only thing that this government has been successful at is telling barefaced lies. So when they say they're going to end the war on motorists, they're not really. They'll keep ULEZ. They'll keep the 20-mile-an-hour speed limit as long as they're in government. They'll just make it more and more difficult for you not to use your car. And anyone who is anti-public transport schemes and loves cars is stupid. Because public transport infrastructure, means there's less people on the road. In the same way, people who love their cars but hate cyclists are stupid, because every cyclist is one less car on the road. Anyway, that's enough of my rant. what I really wanted to say is, I feel quite privileged where I live. Not only can I get on my bike right from home, but I've also got some beautiful scenery to look at while I'm out riding. And some steep hills, of course. But hey ho, can't have everything. Well, I suppose I could move to Holland or Norfolk.